What's up, YouTubes? Mountain Man Magic, and before I jump into this video, I just gotta say thank you to each and every one of you who watched my Dominaria Prerelease guide. That was my first video to get over 1,000 views, so that was a pretty, that just made me happy. I mean, that was an awesome thing to log in and see, and yeah, if you liked, commented, subscribed, just thank you, and it means a lot. This is Two-Headed Giant, though, one of my favorite formats. Let's get into it. You're probably expecting how to build a deck or what cards to look out for. Actually, in Dominaria, it's just one card. It's 2 and 2 red. That's all I got. Please subscribe. Thank you for watching. All right, that was a bad joke. You kind of got to take your shots, right? Sorry. We got it. We're going to take care of this. All right. Two-Headed Giant. We're going to focus on the nuances of this format, how it can make certain cards way better, maybe a little worse actually. First though, we got to hit on the rules that are changing. I know it's not exciting, but a little teaser for you. Why am I untying my running shoes? Oh, we got some good ideas for you. Just wait. Okay. We'll hit on the basics real quick. Hopefully you've played before, or at least seen another video or someone's told you about it. But the basics, you share a 30 life total. You attack and block as a team. You can talk strategy whenever you want to with your partner, but you still own all of your cards. Your teammate owns all of theirs. When it says creatures you control, it only talks about you, the ones you've cast. When it says your graveyard, it's only your graveyard. Only you can pay mana to cast your spells, your abilities. Basically, you are still you, but because you share a body, you only get 30, And when a card says target, it still means you have to pick one of the heads, one of the players. If it says target player takes 3 damage or deals 3 damage to target player, you pick one of the heads, but the shared life total is what drops. If it says target player discards a card, you pick one of your opponents, that head discards a card, not the other one. What this means for Dominaria, especially for the legendary sorceries, is if you need to control a legendary creature for some reason, you have to control it. You can't just kind of whisper to your friend, hey, tell him, come over. You'd think that would work, but it's not. You can't just get carried by why would you not be able to get carried by the other? It's not important. You're thinking too much. One of the things that makes Two-Headed Giant unique, though, is when it says each opponent, it now essentially doubles that effect because it hits both heads, both opponents. So if it says each opponent loses 2 life, they now lose 4 life. If each opponent must discard a card, they must both discard a card, meaning you get 2 cards out. Not bad. Okay, so we're good on the targeting. Still means one person. Your control still means you, but each now gets doubled. We're good with that. I hope so. Moving on. So the new change that's come out with Dominaria is that when you're attacking, you have to actually declare which person you're attacking, which head you're attacking. So if you have a creature that has Island Walk, for example, you have to target the head that owns the island for your Island Walk to allow you to walk up and boop them on the nose. That also means effects like Baird the Steward of Argive sounds better. And you walk up with a Sapperling army, you just say you're targeting the other player or the other head, and now you don't have to pay that 1 colorless per creature toll. That's a pretty big downgrade, I would say, for Baird. Pretty sad about that. It does seem odd that, the other head wouldn't say bro, why are you letting these people just walk to us no problem? You mean, sorry, Chief, no can do, man. They just went that way. He's back there you should come this way. Did you bring money? We'll get you on the way back. Don't worry about it, partner. Have a great trip. Sorry, bro. Okay, can we move on to the fun stuff now? Yes, please. Let's go. Let's start with white. Here's a fun card, Evra. Now, if they're playing red or anything instant removal, instant damagey, this could make for a quick game. This is why you got your shoes tied, because when you throw the game and your teammate starts chasing you, you better hope you're faster than they are. But point is, now when it says Evra's power is your life total, it means your collective life total. So if you're at 30, Evra now becomes a 34 toughness creature, and as long as it doesn't die, you're probably feeling pretty great if you're able to swap life totals and attack with that lifelink. Next is Teshar, Ancestor's Apostle. This angel, nope, Bird Cleric. This Bird Cleric can bring back your teammates' creatures as well. What a friendly little nice thing to do. Then we got Knights of Grace. It can get its bonus from you, your teammate, or either of your opponents. So chances are, if you're not running white-black, you're probably still going to have your bonus because you got 3 other players potentially playing the color you need. And don't forget, you can Healing Grace your partner when they're just dragging you down and they're getting all salty. Nothing wrong with looking out for your partner, your other head, because they're still kind of like in charge of half the body. What? So there's white. Nothing super impactful, but some stuff to keep an eye out for. Now, if we jump into blue, there's a pretty cool thing you need to know about Karn's Temporal Sundering, because the way the game format works is if you take an extra turn, you and your partner both get an extra turn. So my question would be, what's better than 1 extra turn? 2 extra turns? So cast this bad boy and give you and your partner an extra turn. That is a pretty sick play if you can pull it off. Curator's Ward, not the greatest card, but you can now use it to protect your teammate's stuff as well as your own. Put it on your teammate's saga if you really need to get the card draw. There's just more targets for it that may be beneficial for you. Something to think about. And then lastly, if you just want to take the glory for yourself, I think the best use of this card would be to just steal your teammate's card so that you can control it and swing for the win. Just make sure you have your running shoes tied pretty tight. They don't like that. No. Black probably has some of my favorite stuff going on for the 2-headed giant shenanigans, especially with the sagas. Chainer's Torment here is now going to be hitting for 4 damage each turn instead of the 2. You still only gain the 2 life, but you're now getting potentially an even bigger monster creature on turn 3 if you play it. And the draining for 4 life each turn, that's not too shabby. The Eldest Reborn is definitely a card I would play 1v1 and definitely in 2-headed giant, because you're getting 2 of your opponent's creatures, you're making them discard 2 cards collectively, and now you have 2 extra graveyards that you can pull from to get the biggest, baddest creature possible. Kazarov, yeah, he's expensive, but generally speaking, in 2-headed giant, games are a little bit longer. You have more time to ramp up if need be. And if you get Kazarov off and they don't immediately answer it, he's going to get monstrously large and probably be that bomb that wins you the game. Knight of Malice, like we said for Knight of Grace, you now got 3 other people that can trigger the +1/+0 on them. Good deal. As I said in my pre-release video, Cabal Paladin, he's not super good in the 1v1 matchups, but in the 2v2, where you can probably stack your deck a bit more for these combos, hit your opponents for 4 life every time you cast a historic spell, that's some good value. Caligo Skin Witch is going to get 4 cards discarded if kicked. That can be a crushing blow, huge tempo swing, just all around good play if you can pull it off. And my favorite card for 1 black has got to be Demonic Vigor. Why? I really like the idea that you can have your teammates back and throw that on their creature, and if your opponents are just like, licking their chops because, we got removal next turn for your super good card, and you throw that on there, and you just see like the sad face come on. What are we gonna do? That's good teamwork. Good teamwork. Oh my goodness, I woke up and I was thinking I definitely forgot something. I probably forgot a lot of things for this video, but I forgot Lich's Mastery. I mean, look at this card. It's 2-headed giant on extreme mode. This means you and your partner cannot lose the game while it's in play. It also means, though, whenever you or your teammate gain life, you are drawing cards. Whenever you or your teammate lose life, though, you're also discarding, exiling, removing cards from your graveyard. So it's like win-win, definitely lose-lose. And then when it leaves the battlefield, unfortunately, you both lose the game. But this is the craziest card I think you could play in 2-headed giant. If you get it, please play it. Let me know how it goes. I gotta run to work. Here's me from like 6 hours ago. Hope you're enjoying the video. Bye. I feel like this side of the screen's being neglected. Next up, we got red. And one of my favorite cards in red is Jaya's Immolating Inferno, because it's X and 2 red, but you can hit 3 different targets, meaning you can hit both heads, which essentially doubles the damage. So if you tap 6 and 2 red, 8 and 2 red, you're easily getting to double-digit damage into the mid-late game. that can win you the game outright. I mean, that's a pretty sweet card. Gintu's Journeyman, a nice little card to throw in. I think it'd be good in any limited deck. In this case, you're getting 4 damage off instead of the 2. Last but not least, red actually just has the 2-headed giant, so it kind of just wins. It just wins. Now on to, last but not least, of the monocolors, green. First, if your teammate's being mean and you still got those shoes laced up, Territorial Allosaurus, you play it, you kick it, you target his creature, and you just say, I am the alpha head of this 2-headed giant team. You probably should get up and be ready to run. And then you can cast Gaia's Blessing, which is a terrible card, and just give them that shot at drawing their card back after they've thought about what they've done. You can also cast Arbor Armament on your teammates' creatures as well and make them have to block the flyer. Be like, sorry, dude, my 3/3 has way better artwork than yours. You get +1/+1 on reach. You should probably block or we lose. And you don't want us to lose, do you? What a terrible idea. Lastly, green probably has the best chances of you and your teammate having the most memorable 2-headed giant experience. I think that's a fair way to put it. For the multicolored cards, there's nothing of really note here since they all focus on you or target except for one, and that one is pretty legit. That one being Halar, who could do some work because one, red and green are the 2 colors that have the most amount of kicker spells. She's really strong because now every time you play a kicked spell, she deals double damage to the opponents, meaning that first spell, 1 counter, 2 damage. Next spell, 2 counters, 4 damage. Third spell, 3 counters, 6 damage. That's a lot of damage. So we're into the last section, which is artifacts. And there's no real artifacts to bring up for 2-headed giant. Nothing that I think is going to be astronomically different than a 1v1. But you could throw in Dampening Sphere and have everyone annoyed at you. And now you got to run. You're taking a risk, though, because now you got to outrun 2 other people that you may not know as well. Good luck. I have some terrible ideas. All in all, I think there's going to be a lot of very potent decks that come out of this 2-headed giant format. I mean, with 2 sealed kits, you're going to have access to a lot of legendary creatures. You're going to have a lot of access to cards that you can hopefully build those combos around and probably be as efficient or as optimal with your deck building choices. And because this format's usually a bit slower, there are a lot of bombs in this format that are not to be trifled with. You're going to have to make sure you have those answers. Focus on that traditional deck build up, but make sure you have your bombs and make sure you have those answers for your opponent's bombs as well. But this is a fun format. So if you got an idea and you think you can pull it off and you got a reasonable amount of cards to do it or a reasonable chance to do it, I say go for it. This format's about having fun. Make sure you're having fun. The people there that play, at least the LGS I go to, are awesome. I mean, that's why it's worth the 1.5-hour drive. I'm very excited for this weekend. I hope you enjoyed the video. Again, thank you all so much for the response to that last Dominaria pre-release guide. It really meant a lot. If you like this video, I'd appreciate a comment, a like, a thumbs up, a subscribe. I wish you nothing but the best in your pre-release. I hope you get the cards you want. I hope you get to play the deck you want. And if you want, come back, tell me how your pre-release went. I'd love to hear it. And I'll definitely be sure to be responding to your comments and giving you, my take or my answers or, just how my experience went as well. I hope life's treating you well. We'll see you in the next video. Thank you all for watching. Peace.